Hello again. Today we're going to talk about skimming and scanning. Both of these are reading strategies designed to help you read faster. When skimming, you're only looking for the main ideas, and scanning is used to find specific details in a passage. Skimming is actually very similar to what we talked about when we discussed previewing. So you'll usually do the same types of things. Ask questions about the title. Second, decide what kind of passage it is. That will change how you approach it. And lastly, look at the parts of the passage where you're likely to find the most useful information. So remember, that'll probably be the introduction, the first sentence of each paragraph after that, and probably the conclusion. Skimming is useful for previewing, as we mentioned, and it's also good for many other things. For example, finding out quickly what a reviewer thinks about a book, a movie, or a product when you want to make a decision about whether to see this movie or buy this product. It's also useful for getting the main idea from a news article. We practiced that in class with the previewing lesson. If you're doing some research and you have many different texts and you're not sure which ones will help in your research assignment, you can just skim them quickly to see if they have helpful information for you. And lastly, if you do an internet search and you get many results, how do you know which one will help you? You can click on them briefly and just skim quickly to find out if they will help you in whatever you're looking for. So now the key to skimming, as with all different kinds of strategies for reading fast, is skipping text. So we're not reading every word on the page. Now the more text you skip, the faster you can skim, but the more you skip, the less you will understand and remember too. So you need to practice and learn how to adjust your skimming speed depending on your purpose. Now let's talk about scanning. As I mentioned, you're looking for very specific information when you scan a text. For example, maybe you're looking for the hours of a place you want to visit or the cost. So this is the website for the Freedom Center downtown in Cincinnati. If we click on Visit the Center, let's see. Very quickly, we can see, oh, if I want to go on Saturday, they're open 11 till 5, and ticket price, $12. That's all we need to know. So that's all we have to read, very quick. Another way we might use this is, if we're looking for a specific piece of information in our textbook, we don't remember where it is, we can quickly skim the table of contents or the index. So if I forget where to see the structure, the organization of a classification essay, I just look quickly through our book and I see the paragraphs of a classification essay, page 35. Yep, that's exactly what I was looking for. Very quick, very easy. Or maybe you are looking back at your OECs to find out how much our next quiz is worth. So let's see, extensive reading, no, reading quizzes. 2 to 3, there's 30 points, so 15 points for our quiz. So you can find this very quickly. In all of these cases, it's easy to find what you're looking for. But in a news article or a longer essay, it's more challenging. Still, especially if you have questions, specific questions that you're trying to answer, you can find those details quickly through scanning. Just remember to read the questions at the end before you read the passage, so you know exactly what you're looking for. Both skimming and scanning require you to move your eyes quickly, up and down and all around the text, not just from left to right along the lines of text. And both strategies are often used together. In a reading test, for example, you'll usually have specific detail questions as well as main idea questions. And we use these skills together in everyday life too. For example, let's say you want to buy a book about improving your pronunciation. So you go to Amazon, you type in pronunciation, and here's the list of all the results. The first thing I look for when I'm going to decide which thing to buy, especially on Amazon, I look at the reviews. I see 4 stars, 4.5 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. I'm actually familiar with this book though, so maybe I want to see how others compare. Here's another one with 5 stars, so maybe I'll look at that. Specific information I want to know about a book like this is whether it comes with CDs to listen to. Finally. So I also want to know the price, of course. I see $26.85 very quickly. Yes, audio CD, so I know it comes with a CD. And I want to know the page numbers, or how many pages it has, to see if that's a good value. This is only 132 pages. Another one might be over 200 pages for a similar cost. So that might help me make my decision. Once I see some specific information like that from scanning though, I might want to look for some more details from some of the reviewers. I see 7 people all gave it 5 stars, so that's good. But now look at this description, that's pretty long. So I might not want to read the whole thing. This is when I will use my skimming skills. So let's see. They're saying that in the beginning, usually you don't teach pronunciation. But even beginners need to communicate clearly. I see some numbers here. I'm curious what those are. Let's see. Principal areas covered. Okay, this is useful. The alphabet, decoding spelling when you're and reading when, words you don't know. Syllable number, syllable stress, word connections, the music of English. Okay, and articulation of certain sounds. Great. Sounds excellent. Many helpful graphics, that's good. And basically the conclusion is this reviewer has been looking for a book like this for a long time. And let's see, definitely the book I'll choose. So it sounds like a great source, great resource for us. So this is just one example of how we use skimming and scanning together. Now, we already practiced skimming a little bit when we talked about previewing. So when we get together again, we'll focus on scanning skills. I will see you then. Have a great night.